dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow from a devilishly curious child into a remarkable young lass with much grace, wisdom, and kindness. Tain't the easy times what shape us, nay. 'Tis how we rise to face the hard times what does that for us. Ye've an heart of gold. Ye've the spirit to overcome adversities aplenty. Darling, sweeten. Today's the day ye fill out your destiny. Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
A witcher? Witcher! Whose coin did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods.
No! You chose her. Back to the village. Go, now.
Nay! I must save them! Save the village!
Save yourself! Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
can't! The chosen one! It's tradition!
Oh no, no, no!
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods, to go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. No introduction right here because I let you guys see that video of The Witcher just to put it out there, and I wanted to test something. I did not comment on it at that time, but I'm going to comment on it now because this woman brought up an interesting argument. And I wanted to also say, before I forget, is that I do not think The Witcher 4 is woke. And I do think a thing is happening now that whereas this agenda or this inclusivity thing has been being forced so much within things that men enjoy, especially like video games, action movies, and certain other sports to a degree, but it's been forced to a certain degree that has turned a lot of men off. Now, I do think a lot of us are looking for it and it's not there now because I do think some of the big dogs like Disney has backed off of it after seeing. Actually, I have to credit Deadpool and Wolverine because that movie, which was just an action-packed movie with two guys fighting and having fun, grossed a lot of money, and the ones that they was trying to empower women kind of tanked. And I can't say that men have an issue seeing women in power, but okay, I think a certain group of men do want women to stay down, stay in the house, make me a sandwich type of energy. But most of us, because I know I have no problem with women being in the workforce or being in movies, being the star, being in action movies, because in the jobs that I've worked, especially one whereas we are lifting kegs, which is anywhere from, I guess, 70 to 100 pounds or so. There are women in there, and most of them that are doing it, I believe, well, one had left, but was about four or so. They can actually handle moving that, and they don't be crying. There's actually one that's probably at least 4'11" or 4 something that be moving those kegs, and she acts real feminine. So I don't buy into that thing that women can't do some of the jobs that men do. Now, of course, there are some jobs that not all men can do, and whereas some women may not be able to do, such as oil rig or either straight digging a ditch out in the blazing sun. Certain ones, yeah, but after seeing the job that people are in different conditions, weather conditions, and they're able to do it, I'm like, okay. But coming back to the video game thing. Oh, and I'm also going to address, because I'm not sure what I'm going to label this video, either I'm going to say The Witcher 4 is not woke. People calm down, or fellas calm down. Or the video might be, why do women always look sexy in video games? Before we get to that, let this woman say what she's going to say right now, and I'll be right back.
Hey, men who game, can we have a conversation? Like, I want to know, when did it become uncool to have a female protagonist? You know, the Game Awards was last night, and they announced a lot of new games, which a lot of them look really good. For instance, The Witcher 4. But let's talk about how every time the game was announced and it was a female lead, which was probably, I would say, 1 out of 5 games had a female lead. All I saw in chats were, oh my god, another woke game. For instance, Naughty Dog announced the game. Chick had a buzz cut, but she was sitting in a spaceship, a Porsche spaceship. And if I'm not saying it right, I don't care. A spaceship. It's called Intergalactic. And yet the comments, oh my god, they're doing another woke game. Bro, she's in outer space. Like, no, really, she's in outer space. And I don't understand at what point in video gaming you guys decided anytime that there's a woman on the screen that does not look fuckable, that's the only way I could say it.
Yo, shout the season, man.
You guys are, it's woke. It's woke. It's woke. Guess what? I hate to say it. Even the chicks in video games want to fuck y'all. So I don't understand why all of a sudden you hate everything that comes out that's not a man in a fucking white beater. It's giving you want to look at men all day, which there are websites for. I just never seen a bunch of men who claim to like women not want to look at a woman. Like, oh my God, you guys need help. You guys need help. And I get it. Maybe if you don't want to look at her because she's not fuckable to you, but go play Astrobot. Like, why is everything about sex? Like, you can't even appreciate an intergalactic space mission because she's not fuckable. Oh my God, you guys are insufferable.
Okay, she makes a lot of good points in here. And a lot of that is true. But she jumped all over the place, somewhere in the middle there. Now, yes, men do like attractive women in the video game, especially if they are going to be the main character or a playable character. But to be fair, that also goes for the men. The men have to look like they are a hero, unless if it's Naruto. And I think Naruto and shows like Bleach, like those animes, people a bit more realistic physically in there. Of course, though, they rarely pit people that are overweight or anything, but they pit the basic weight of people most of the time. Not too muscular, not too skinny, pretty much in between. But in video games, especially in the USA, our heroes are usually over 6 foot, muscular, and they look like they could kick 20 dudes' ass, pretty much. Now, the women, if they are in there, yes, if I'm going to play the character, she has to be a character that I find attractive. The same way I wouldn't play a character unless if it's a gimmick game like a Mario Brothers or a comical game. But if it's a serial RPG game, especially if I can design the character, I'm not going to design a character that is overweight or too or gunk skinny or have no muscle mass. Okay. And see, I know women get into this energy because they're body conscious and they feel like they have to compete with those women on the screen. Remember, we are not you. Okay. And this I'm going to kind of generalize to all women to a certain degree because men, we may have a fancy of a woman that has a straight hourglass figure, that she has big boobs and a great butt. I know realistically, and I'm pretty sure a lot of men are like that, unless if they are on the superstar level Justin Bieber. I try not to say those names that are in the Diddy case, but Henry Cavill, unless if they are in that status, or they football basketball players, unless if they are in that status right there, they are getting the best, the cream of the crop, and seeing all of the women, even women designed like it might be in a comic book or a fantasy game. Most men are realistic. We know we probably will not be able to get that woman. We will settle for a woman that doesn't look like that. And that brings up another thing. I know when I used to draw, one day I might get back to that because I know I want to turn it into an animation, a 3D animation. This idea that I had of a comic book I did years ago. And some people have asked about that recently, like, where did that go? I kind of just lost the passion for it, and it wasn't going where I wanted it to go. But I draw most of the women shapely with that hourglass figure. Now I try to be conscious that sometimes women are shaped a little bit skinnier or a little bit thicker. So some of the characters would be more normal looking. And that's the same thing with the men. Now I have to admit, usually with the men, it was always they was tall and they had muscles, and I guess that's what I grew up with the comic books. But again, it goes back to what do I see a hero as? In real life, though, a hero could look like something else. Hero could be like 5'6", around my height. In comic books and video games, they are rarely that size unless if they have some type of universal shattering power and they don't look like it, but they could move the earth. But on the normal, they are usually definitely the 6 foot plus and definitely have muscles. So I think it's fair that the women should be shapely the same way. I don't think it's men being obsessed with men. I just think they just want the man to look the part, and they want to respect the man and be like, okay, I could see him doing it. But if the dude is out of shape or he weighs as much as a feather and he's throwing around 200-pound grown men, unless if he has superhuman strength or if he has a superpower. But if it's a regular action movie where it's like martial arts and stuff, they're not going to believe in, I know someone may say Jet Li. Of course, Jet Li still looks somewhat physical, and he was able to sell his action. But I'm pretty sure he is not that tall. Okay, so some dudes can pull it off, and of course, it's a stereotype, but most people will assume most Asian people know some type of Nujitsu or karate, something that 5 fingers of death that could kill you. And I'm probably in the rarity here. Once again, I don't mind seeing women in action roles. I just don't want them to belittle the men. When they do that, then even I get sour. Maybe one quip in there, but usually when women are taking pot shots at men or man bashing in a movie, a man never responds back. He just eats it. So that's the difference I would make. If you're going to have her take shots at the guy, let the guy take shots back at her or something. Let it be fair. Otherwise, keep the gender bashing stuff out of there. And that's a thing that usually when they do present female protagonists, it's similar like that Batgirl show, where the girl had to go out her way saying only a woman could do this, or woman could do what a man can't do, or she could do it better.
I need you to fix his suit. The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits a woman.
Why don't you just go, just do your job or crime fight or whatever you have to do? Why do you have to say the extra little thing to just make it worse? Okay? And I understand that men have taken this so long and not saying anything, and women have just felt it's okay just to turn up and say whatever online and off. But fortunately, men are speaking up now. Even a guy like me, a guy that's like laid back and wouldn't have said nothing 10 years ago. But today is a new day. And to show that I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, but there are women that they don't have to be vixens as long as they're cute and they remain feminine. And I don't think no other video game pulled that off as well as the Lara Croft game that I played. I still did not finish, but that game right there, and I think I lost that primary game, but she really, who had ever animated her and the woman that voiced her did an excellent job of showing her. And not that she was like a superhero that went unscathed, that didn't go through anything. And that's another thing too, that movies like Captain Marvel is missing the point. Men usually like men that struggle and then rise above. We don't like somebody that just goes from 0 to 100 and then just get there. That's a big reason why I think a lot of people prefer Batman over Superman. Well, especially the men. The women, I think it involves because of his money. In Batman's case, he lost his parents. He has a lot of internal struggle, and then he learned how to fight, and then he took matters into his own hands. So that pretty much sums it up, where most men will admire a woman that does that. And that's why I think the Lara Croft video game in my book did very well, because she was able to show she's not superhuman. She is a human and she's still a woman. She has some skills to her. And I can't really say too much more about that particular thing. And as far as The Witcher 4, if anybody's complaining about Ciri being a Witcher here, and look, I did not play all of the games. I played half the second game because I just didn't finish it. And then I had to restart and play over the third game. Love the third game. I'm still going through my playthrough right now, which I think I'm 3/4 of the way through. So I'm trying to do all the side missions. And I had a chance to play Ciri on the flashbacks. She seems powerful, and she has her own different power set. And when I saw that video with her fighting the monster, she was not doing the exact same thing as Geralt was doing, as far as like almost overpowering or doing certain things that you would expect the man to be able to do. She had to put all her back into it. And of course, I know she has magic, whereas regular witchers have like basic magic. It's enough for them in a battle, but Ciri has more of a range of magic that she can use to help her in her fights. So I would dub her honorary Witcher. And she's never said anything of, oh, during my playthrough saying, well, I can do it better than a man can or something. She just wanted to belong, improve her worth as far as what I saw, and she still has a feminine energy to her. And of course, all of them have the scars, which if she's not a Witcher, I don't know why she has the scars. I guess maybe some of the tests that she went through, maybe they scar you a bit, because I know Geralt has those scars as well. So that's pretty much it. So I'm hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. One, I do not think, now, of course, until the game comes out, you know, maybe the guys that's freaking out about it, maybe it's some merit to. I did not see Ciri act differently than what she acted in the previous games. And the fact that maybe they made her a Witcher, they could have made her an honorary Witcher because she put the work in. Okay, she put the work in. And I did not complete the game, so I don't know. As far as I know it's a battle that she has to fight those 3 hags, which I heard that's one of the hardest battles in The Witcher. So, look, sometime, fellas, is not woke. And to the women out there, stop crying on how the women look in the game. Now, I do agree they should put some other shapes in there, the same way they do have men that are like out of shape and stuff. Remember, with the men, they are never the protagonists, and they're rarely the antagonists. Okay, usually they are people in between the lackey or somebody that's working for somebody. They're usually not the main boss. Not in all games, but in most games, both the hero and the villain look powerful. They look like you deserve their respect. And with the women, they usually look attractive, okay? Because I don't think it matters with the villain, but as far as the women, that's going to be the hero. We usually associate beauty with goodness. Now, that's not always true, but that's usually the knee-jerk reaction. And you women do it too. When y'all gushing over Henry Cavill, whoever your screen crush is. So, that's it. Give me a like and subscribe, and have a good day.
Dollar bills, keep you falling from me. I love the way it feels, boss. Some money, dropping on my money. Drop some money on a special yummy, yeah. Drinking, buy things I like. More, buy, stopping in my ass tonight. Some money, dropping on my money.